Hello and welcome to the BrostleLearn channel. If you are just joining us for the first time, this is a place where we help people make the right decision in the right direction of tech. So precisely the last time around, we discussed about different areas in AI roles. We mentioned about technical roles, hybrid roles, and non-technical roles. And we listed some certain properties of each of these roles, so to say, in terms of maybe it require you to code or it require you less coding or no code at all. Now, we also made mention that we are going to be using AI workflow automation specialists. We're going to take in a practical technical role in this. We're going to work on this for you to see the kind of job you're going to be doing if you want to be an AI workflow automation specialist. In precise, any person can do this job in as much as you know what to do and how to go about it. As an AI automation specialist, your job in a company is to check each department and see what processes in each department you can automate. It's not just one department. It's not just even your job. It is you automating processes for engineering teams, automating processes for financial accounting teams, automating processes for maybe the educational team, whatever department that the organization wants you to look into. So it's not just about one directional kind of automation, but in an organization as a whole. Now, for you to be able to do this job as an AI automation workflow specialist, you should be able to use tools like Make, for instance. You should be able to use tools like Make, able to use platform like N8N, even Zapier. You can also use Zapier. But let us indeed look at some of the jobs that may actually require you to use this platform. So let's look for AI automation engineer. So let's go to US and see what was being asked. So for instance, this is one, they expect you are requiring Power Automate, Outrex, Zapier, and N8N. In other words, you should be able to use any of these four websites perfectly to automate processes. And you can see it's with low code and no code programmatic approaches. So what we want to do today is an example of how you can do this as a person, or how you can begin to work as an AI automation specialist, engineer, or manager, whatever you want to call it, basically. So that is the kind of job. So now, having said that, so let's go straight into the automation. So we are going to be using N8N in precise. You have to create an account with them. And in this process, what we want to do is, in our organization, for instance, we do write articles concerning different career paths in AI, in tech, and how we can help people to make the right decision. So now we want to automate the process. So instead of we trying to create these articles by ourselves, meanwhile, we just want it to be scheduled. We want it to be done automatically. We just want to input our thought and let the AI do the job for us. You see what I mean? So how are we going to start? We're going to start by saying, so the normal thing is, if we delete this now, so the first step on your page, if you have come to this point, you can just say personal project or a project or something, whatever you do here, this is the first page. So now the first thing you want to do is to add events. So it could be on app event, it could be on unscheduled event, it could be a webhook call event, it could be on form submission. What all these things mean is that a user who is using that application should do one thing or the other in order to trigger the automation workflow. So in our triggering, we want to trigger with something like chat. We want a message to be sent by the user, and once the message is being sent, the automation should start. So the next thing is there's not much you want to do here. Basically, if you can play around this. Maybe you want to upload files to this automation, or while this automation is running, maybe you need a document to be added. It could be anything basically. So you define that from the very beginning. But then if you don't want to define that, you can leave it as it were. Here you can say receive, ask your question. I mean, you're talking to the user to ask your question. So we ask question. So then we can change the name here and say chat. So this is chat, which is the very beginning of the workflow. So this is what will initiate the workflow. So once the user start chatting, then it's going to work. So basically, you can on and off the chats in this manner, or you on it back in this manner. So, but basically what we want to do is, the next thing is we want to add it to where. What we are trying to do here is we want to send, we want the AI to help us write an article and send it to our website on our blog post, or want it to be sent to our LinkedIn page. So we are going to do all of this in a jiffy. So the next step is we want to add an AI bot. It's an AI bot you need to have to be able to do this, because since you need the model, an AI model. But before you add an AI model, you need the bot. So the agent, we call it agents. So you can put agents, AI agents, you can see here. So that's more reason, if you are learning all of this, you still have to play around it in order to get used to it. So you go to AI agents. So once you click on AI agent, you can tell the agent what to receive as input and what to give out as outputs. So in the input is going to be execute previous nodes. It should execute this node. So that means if somebody asks a question, then the AI agent should receive the question as an input. Can you see that? As an input. So I haven't clicked on that. The next thing now is, how do you want the AI agent to operate? So naturally, an AI agent will definitely need some few things. So number one, it needs a model. Since you are generating, you want AI to generate the workflow for you, definitely you need a model. It could be an open AI model, it could be a Gemini model, it could be Grok 3 model, it could be any model. So you can easily just click on that and then find the model that you like or you prefer. So we're going to come to that. Then the second point is you're going to also add a memory. Depending on how complex what you want to automate is going to be like, it will require memory, because if you're interacting with the AI, there is a place to store all the information or all the discussion that is going on, so that it can review those information and use it to update itself and then respond back to you. So you will need memory. So let me click on memory. So we're going to click on memory very soon and configure that. Then we're going to configure tools. So the tools could be that maybe you want to connect it to a Google Calendar, or quickly, maybe a calculator, maybe you want it to calculate something, or maybe you want it to write a code, or whatever. It could be any tool. However, if I now want to connect to my website, blog site, or I want to connect to my LinkedIn, to our LinkedIn page, then I can click on this. So let us just get started so I can see. So the first thing I want to do is, one, I want to connect it to Gemini model, Google Gemini chat model. You could select, if it's a video automation you want to do, then you can select Google Vertex chat model. That means it's going to include a video automation. So that is something is going to receive video or images as you are going on. So now let's use this. This is a chat model. So let's use this. We can also use Google Grok. I can also use Grok, depending on how you want to do it. So, but then we just want to connect for now. We need to configure. So I'm going to be configuring very soon. So do I need a tool? Maybe or maybe not, depending on what I want to do. But I think I just want to connect to our website. So I want to connect to the WordPress website. So WordPress. So in the WordPress, it's going to ask me if I want to create a post, or I want to get a post, I want to get many posts, or update a post. Whatever you want to do, maybe you want to create a new page or something, you want to automate a process, whatever process you want to do, you need to think through the process and then create what you want to do. So the next thing I want to do is to create a post, right? I'm not creating a page, I'm not creating a user, I just want to create a post. So go ahead. So you see, I've not done any configuration, I'm just preparing myself. And I'm saying that after creating a post on WordPress, please go ahead, send the same post to LinkedIn. Okay, to LinkedIn. On LinkedIn, what do you want to do? You want to create a post? That's the only option that is even available. So put it in there. Now, having done that, the next step is for us to configure all these things. Now, to configure, you definitely will need APIs. That's where APIs come into place, application programming interfaces that will allow you to connect from one end to another end. Now we call it endpoints. You can connect from one endpoint to another endpoint. All these things you are seeing here, they are endpoint. This is an endpoint, this is an endpoint, this is an endpoint. These two, this one to this chart here to is an endpoint. So we want to connect this guy to this guy to this guy to this guy. And everybody will be able to talk together and give you the result you want. And without you doing so much, you can just say A and then it is done. So that's the purpose and that's the beauty of this AI automation workflow we are creating. So what we want to do next is to tell this agent how we want it to operate, because it's very important to let it know how we want it to operate. So you want to be a chat user, say connected to chat trigger mode. That's what it's going to do. So you want to collect information from the chat. The next thing is we want to tell it what are the things you should upload. Always upload data. No, it's not compulsory. It depends on when the action is taking place. On error, you should store workflow. Yes, you can say you should store workflow. If you want to continue by every means, even though there's error, but you don't want that. So just leave it at stop workflow. Then you can display notes in the flow so that it can update you on what is going on. So that helps you to understand what to do or what is being done, basically. So if you require a particular way of outputs, like you want the output to be in numbers or you want it to be in whatever, you can connect an output browser. But we definitely don't need this at the moment. So if you want to add any other thing like system message, which is also very important, letting him know what role he's going to play. So you are an helpful assistant and you generate new generate new articles by receiving users' thoughts and keywords. This is to generate article using users' thoughts and keywords. So that, having said that, so what we want to configure now is the Gemini model. So we need to be sure that that is working comfortably. So that's number two. Then the tool that we need is, we may need a tool such that maybe it depends on how you want to use the workflow. During the work that is being done by that department, do they usually have to go on Google search? Do they usually have to ask more questions before they find a solution or an answer, something? So if it would be that during the generation of my thought, during the generation of the article, I will need the AI model to go online to search for maybe the current weather or the weather of a particular place or the time in a particular country. Then I will need to add something like Google search to it. It's good, like a tool. So you can include the search API. So that means during the generation of the article, we want it to include maybe number jobs available on Google search concerning AI automation workflow and specialists. So we just want to create something to create an article that can help us to achieve this. So for us to do that, we still need to create a credential to add to it. But we have done a lot of things right now. What we are doing now is to configure each of these endpoints so that things can work. So the next thing for us to do is to configure the Gemini chat model. So what we need to do is to create a new credential. And how do you create a new credential? You have to do this, right? You have to go to Gemini model. So let us go to Gemini model and create one and get one. So I need to copy the API key and put it here. I'll put it here. So for me to get the API key, I must have signed up with Google. With my Gmail account is fine. All I need to do is to go to Google Gemini. I'll get the API for this. So you can copy it. If you don't know how to do it, just copy it and go and paste it and search. But I'm going to do that in a Chiffy and then I'm going to bring back the API. So let's do that. So once you go through the Google AI Studio, you will be able to generate or get some keys. So you create a new key here. Then you say you want to use Gemini API. Okay. Then you can create a new API here. So then you create the new API key. So once it's being created, I mean, you don't have to transfer or send your API key to anyone. And never mind this, all these keys, I'm going to delete them. So if you're just seeing it, just know just for now. So basically, I'm going to put it here. And once I put it here, I save, then automatically credentials successfully created in my project. So you see, I've been able to connect the Google API, my Google API to this. So the next thing is I need to select the model that I have initiated with. So and the model is Gemini. So if you go back there, you will see that it was a Gemini API. So a Gemini model, but what version? That was version 2.0 because actually everything is on 2.0 based on my settings at the moment. So I just have to go down and find Gemini 2.0. If it's free, you're going to be paying at some point. That means if you overuse to a large extent, you're going to pay for this. But I mean, you don't have to worry. It is free, and that's exactly why I'm comfortable using this model. So once I do this, if I want to add any, if I want to say like, okay, this is the maximum number of tokens, so let's just do that. So we've connected that successfully. So what we want it to do is to, to generate from here. You can see that there's no cautionary symbol or sign. You can see that it has gone now. So the next thing we want to do is let us look at our simple memory. Let's see if there is anything for me to configure. So, okay, context window here is 5. So we can make it 10. In other words, the reason why I'm making it 10 is you don't want it to be too much and then you don't want it to be too small. So then what again in the settings? Let's look at the settings. Okay, so parameters are correct. So I think parameters are correct. So the next thing you want to do is so this is good to go. This is good to go. So the SAP API, that means if I want to get what is going on, I want to get the temperature of in a country, I want to get the weather forecast of that country, I want to know the time in a particular place, and it will be needed in my article or something, then I will have to connect the search API. So for me to do this, I have to create a credential again and put it in there. So what I need to do is to get the credential of this guy. I have to get a credential by opening an account with SAP. So what you want to do is to go to SAP. So for instance, so I will go to SAP and create a new API. So just click on, yeah, this is it. This is the right one I'm supposed to click. This. So searchapi.com, that's the website. So what you need to do is to sign in if you have not signed up. But if you have signed up, then that's fine. So I can just sign in with my Google. So what I need to do is to pick my key. You can see my key here. Google search key. So if there's any searches that have been done, it's going to be here. The numbers, the volume, how much you've done per month, and so on. So since I created this account, I've only done 2 searches using an API. So you can see that. So what I just need to do is, so the next thing I need to do is put this API key. Then I come here, paste it in, then boom. If I click on save, credentials are already created in my project. All members from my project will have access to this credential. So you can see connection tested successfully. So that means I've connected the SAP API successfully to this project. So if there's anything I want to do again, I can just put it right here. Maybe the country, maybe I want to be explicit in the country, maybe it's US or something. Let the model define this parameter or something. But basically, I don't want to add anything, or if I want to add more in the device, that means when it is searching, there is a particular way I want it to output. Maybe I want it to output as a language, or also an English language, or German language, or whatever language, you can put it here. So whatever specific information you need it to have to output to you every point in time, you put them there. So I don't need another thing, basically. So the same thing goes here from the earliest node that needs it, right? Connected. So we've done that. So the same thing we're going to do with WordPress. We're going to go to our WordPress on our website, backend. We're going to connect the API to this so that things can go on smoothly. So the next thing we want to do is create a credential again. So as usual, we'll keep on creating credentials and connecting. So this is the beauty of the AI, because we keep on just using API and everything just keep working. Exactly. So, but in the case of WordPress API connection, something is very important, and that is that there must be a user for this, for you to be able to access this successfully. Then you and the password, and then you have to put the email, the website you're talking about. You put it in here. So what you want to do now is, first of all, you head to your website, so then head to the top right corner, click on the profile of, the profile I'm talking about already. These are things that they are assumed that you know how to use, so you need to play with them, right? So you need to be able to master this kind of stuff. So you want to scroll down to the very end. So in this case, what you are going to is to create a guest user, so to say, a unique user that would be assigned that role that the AI is going to be playing. So it's more like an human being, but in this case, is acting as an human being, right? So add a new application password. So what you want to do here is create a new application. So you just create one. Like I've created one before, that's honesty, but now let me create another one. So if I create excellence here, so I'm adding it, and this will now be used to connect application into the site. So, or the user role I was given. So basically, so BrostleLearn. So simple BrostleLearn there. Then we can save, and then can retry. Yeah, everything works. So now what we need to do is to test the system if it works. Let's see. So let's test the system if it works. So let's start by saying, hi, do you mean it on the role of AI workflow automation specialists? So this is, let's take a test of this and see what is going to happen. Okay, so some certain operation took place, but seems these agents, okay, that's good. So what about this? Let's see if it works. Very good, that's good. So what about this? Let's see if it works. All right. The last step we want to connect the endpoint is the LinkedIn endpoint. So the same process is going to take place here. We're going to add the credentials for LinkedIn. So we're going to follow the same process. In this case, you are going to do it's the same thing, but it's different in the sense that LinkedIn has both individual or personal account and also company account. So for instance, I have my personal profile on LinkedIn, then my company also have a profile on LinkedIn. So if I want this automation to connect to the personal profile on LinkedIn, then I will have to just decide that right here. I will remove organization support. So, okay, let me click on connect sound. Oh, okay, great. All members, okay. So So it's been connected successfully. So you can see that we've created and connected several endpoints in this very case. So if there's anything you're doing, basically, these are the very crucial steps you want to take to be able to connect it. So I was trying to explain the other time that there are two sides of the Okay, good. This is what I was trying to explain. Whether to request permission to post as an organization, then I will have to activate this. But if I just want to post as an individual, then I will have to uncheck this. So that's just the difference with that. So now we have seen that. So the next step is what kind of article do you want to post? The post does not contain any media or will only consist of text. The post will contains an article URL, or the post contains an image. So depending on how we want to do it, do we want image to be attached with the content, or we want only content? So in this case, for now, we just want content. We just want to demonstrate how you can do this. So how are you going to, it says you post as what? As we're going to click on organization here because we connected as organization. So therefore, we will need to provide, there is a URN number we will need to provide. So you need to find a URN number for your organization. The URN is the number of the organization on LinkedIn. All organizations have a URN to WordPress, and from WordPress, it's going to send to LinkedIn. So is there any other thing we need to do again? All this execute data, execute once or something. So display notes in flow. So what that is done, you click on this and you can see the cautionary sign being is gone. So the next step, I haven't configured all our endpoints, right? The next step is to run a test of the automation, right? So let's see what challenge you're going to have or what challenge you're going to face in this entire setup.
Let's start by testing the structure with an article, right? About prompts engineering. Perfect. Beautiful. That means everything went successfully. So can we check? Let's check first from LinkedIn and let's see what's there. Oh, it just gave us output. I see output. So that means there's compression we did not do properly. Let's go here. Again, it's just output. So that means something is missing. So that the content itself is not being provided. It's just the output that's being provided. So in the meantime, from our LinkedIn page. All right. So let us go back into our WordPress. So the following between WordPress and LinkedIn, we want the format to be very, very clear and detailed. So what we want to do is let's go to schema. Let's drag this into this. So automatically, because I click on schema, it was able to give me this icon, and I can drag it into this text box. Automatically, that's a JavaScript statement, and then put inside by itself. So that works. So we may not need this content for now. Let us see. So let's write AI engine. Let's use AI engine. Excellent. So let's go and check what is the outcome. So let's check our page. Let's check our posts. It's giving us outputs. So let's go to our website, our blog site. So let's do this. Okay, good. So we have, So we have this. So you can see, okay, I understand. So one line paragraph to tell about AI engineers or prompt engineers. Before I write, could you tell me what's the main point or focus you want to convey about AI engineers? So that was because I had specified later on. I have specified a role that should ask what they like to write about. So in this case, let me just remove this. Once I remove this, let's leave the option open. So I will remove that. So I don't want that question anymore. I just want to perform directly. Then the output should be something we can use. So in this case now, you can see that the output is going straight into the title on our blog site. But we don't want that. What we want is that the title folder, we click on the title, we want to be able to see the content of the article. Separate the title from the content. So what it's doing right now is that it's taking the entire content as the title and leaving nothing inside the content. So for us to achieve this, we need to separate this article into two. We separate it by using the first line of the article as our title and the entire output, the entire content as content. So that's why we've had content here. Then, having added content here, we will move this into content. You click on expression. Okay, that's expression already. So you click on expression. So this will take the entire output as the content. Let's find a new expression for the division of the first line as the title. You don't know JavaScript, of course, it's not a limitation. What you just need to do is you can use something like my prompt here. I need an expression that passes the first line of the output as title, but take the entire output as content. So what you need basically is this output, is this line of code, right? I can just copy this line of code for the title, then I copy this line of code for the output. So I'm going to paste the line of code, but I'm going to put parentheses so that it's easier for you to, it can be easier for the system to make use of. So I will put this. So this line of code is going to represent the split part of the article, which is now the title. So you can see, so I copy that. So if you know that part of it, the AI can help you out in solving that problem. So I haven't done that. So I need to check. Okay. Very good. So let us take a look at it again. If the steps work. Perfect. So that means with this line of statement, we can actually use it successfully. So let's try again. So this time around, let us try by copying, by using this. Let's reset our history. Okay. Perfect. Everything went on successfully. So let's take a look at our LinkedIn page so that we can view that at once. However, the real separation is actually going to take place with at the post. So let's see if there's a separation here.
Okay, so yeah, we don't want this. So in this case, it has separated the role to two. It has separated the content into two. You can see the title here. So let's take a look. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. So the guide.raw is not correct. What I should add, or what I input here should be the content. directly, since there are no options. There are no additional options in LinkedIn, just like for WordPress, where I can separate and have articles, whereby I can separate and add titles different from the content. So in this case, I should just go with the content if I want the viewers on LinkedIn to see the content directly without going through any link. So let me remove this. So I'll move the content, move it here. See that? So automatically, whatever be the content is what is going to be rendered at LinkedIn. So let's just test the step. Let's see if it works. So text does replace, it's not a function. It's not a function, okay? Let's do something else. Let's get it raw. Let's see. Let's test if that's gonna work. The maximum allowed should not be 3,000. Error message indicates that the text you are trying to post to LinkedIn exceeds the maximum allowed length of 3,000 characters. So to resolve this issue, you need to ensure that the text you are sending is within this limit. And it's a suggestion to modify your expression to truncate the text to 3,000. So you see, providing me an option to reduce that with less than 3,000. So what I need to do is just copy this statement, JavaScript statement, post it into this place, replace it, so that whatsoever the AI generates should not be more than 3,000, so that it can go successfully on LinkedIn. So let us test again. Perfect. Perfect. Yes. Yes, the AI solution helped me resolve that successfully. So let's go and check our LinkedIn page. Let's see what is in there. Let's refresh. Click on the website, blog site, it's already there. So we can see, okay, I can help you. Here is an article draft about AI prompt engineers. So let us take a look at the preview. Let's see if we separated the article's title from the content. Beautiful. Okay, I can help you with that. You can see this is the title, so to say. So that simply means that I can readjust the title on my own. I can edit it inside the website backend, that is in the backend there. I can change the title if I want. Then I can also edit the content that was being provided by the generative AI. So you can see this is correct on the website. So let's take a look at what it is on the LinkedIn.